The idea is hear me out here. The idea is that Bitcoin is made for everyone. But if everyone's not paying attention, who's going to pay attention? It's rich people. Rich people already own all the assets on the planet. The last 2 years, I don't think I've never rented more in my entire life. And I kept on saying, we are going to live in a world where Bitcoin is impossible for the everyday person to actually have. That was met with skepticism. What are you talking about? There will always be some kind of Bitcoin on crypto exchanges, and I say you're not paying attention. The average person right now is able to get around 1 million Satoshis for around $600. In the future, this number will be around 15,000 Satoshis. There's a huge difference between 15,000 sats and 1 million Satoshis. If we are in 2024 at the time of me making this video, and out of all the Bitcoin addresses, 1.86 are holding and controlling 90% of Bitcoin supply, I ask the question, what happens to their wealth when Bitcoin goes to 100K? How rich are these people when Bitcoin hits $500,000 per coin? We recently had a slew, an absolute avalanche of cryptocurrency professors and analysts and yada yada yada, discussing where Bitcoin's price is going to be in the next decade to 2 to 3 decades. A lot of them stopped at around the year 2045 to 2050. Their idea was that in the next couple of years, Bitcoin's probably going to hit $1 million per coin. That by the time we get to the 2030s, 2040s, we're probably going to see a $7 to $10 million Bitcoin at some point. One of the most bullish cases was by 2045, 2050, I believe it was a $23 or $24 million Bitcoin. I said before on this channel, and I meant it. If we get to these numbers in the future, don't complain. Don't get upset. Don't get angry. I've dedicated a large, and I mean it's true, I've dedicated a large portion of my life to these channels, to these 2 channels. The other one I've been doing for almost 9 years now, literally almost a decade, of daily cryptocurrency news, with 99% of it being about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is usually the main thing that's in the news. The crazy part is that even during this video, there's still someone who's skeptical. I don't know how to put it into words. I told you this would happen years ago. Not only the mass accumulation by whales and rich people, but I have this vision, I know it sounds crazy, of the world in the future. The rich are thriving, like they're not doing well, they're doing better than you could even begin to imagine right now. It's because they have all the assets. We're witnessing the shift that I spoke about 2 years ago, a year ago, 6 months ago, and 3 months ago, where the rich people are going to hold all the Bitcoin. You don't understand wealth consolidation. It's because we have lived in a world of relative abundance. You go to the supermarket, you see that some stuff isn't there, you go back a day later, it's back. You go to the car lot, you don't see the car that you want, a month and a half later the car's there. There's always something new. The idea of digital scarcity is something that the world is going to have to grapple with, because it's something that we're currently dealing with. In about a year, 2.5 years, we are going to see that 90% of the entire Bitcoin supply move to around 92 or 93%. They are going to hold all the Bitcoin and they won't let it go. We've had things before where they were, these surveys and yada, yada, yada. The average millionaire and billionaire has no intention of ever selling their Bitcoin, and or they don't plan on using it until Bitcoin's in the millions of dollars, so that they only have to sell fragments of their Bitcoin, so that they keep their 350 Bitcoin and their 10,000 and 200,000 Bitcoin that they have so that they remain the wealthiest people on the planet. Wealth is what you have that you don't spend, that you hold on to, and that you also pass down to the next generation. We are witnessing the wealth transfer, and the skepticism within the cryptocurrency space is going to cause tens of hundreds of millions of people to have, those moments where you sit there and you go, of course I should have gotten that. Oh my gosh, of course I knew the price was going to go up. People aren't prepared to see a $60,000, $70,000 Bitcoin go to $345,000, to go to $700,000. I told you, when Bitcoin hits the price of a house, it's going to become a literal hot commodity. $5 million, you are going to have a lot of friends and family members who are going to be really depressed, because they'll realize what that money would have meant to them and their family, the difference that it would have made for you and your friends and your family generationally. The fact that someone created a brand new asset class and people don't pay attention to it is crazy. Bitcoin's only been around for 15 years.
It's just money. It's made up. Pieces of paper with pictures on it so we don't have to kill each other just to get something to eat. It's not wrong, and it's certainly no different today than it's ever been. 1637, 1797, 1819, 37, 57, 84, 1901, 07, 29, 1937, 1974, 1987, Jesus, didn't that fucker fuck me up good? 92, 97, 2000, and whatever we want to call this. It's all just the same thing over and over. We can't help ourselves. And you and I can't control it or stop it or even slow it. We even ever so slightly alter it. Always been and they always will be the same percentage of winners and losers, happy fucks and sad sacks, fat cats and starving dogs in this world. Yeah. There may be more of us today than there's ever been, but the percentages, they stay exactly the same.
You gonna keep the kid?
Keep him. He's getting promoted.